Hey maths guys, Guiders Maths here. Today we're going to try and improve your algebraic division game. Alright, so we're going to have a look at dividing a couple of cubics by some linear factors first and see if we can find ourselves a little bit of a better way of doing it. So first of all, we're going to divide x cubed plus x squared minus 10x minus 6 by x minus 3. Now I know what you're thinking, what your teachers have told you. We're going to write out our cubic x cubed plus x squared minus 10x minus 6. We're going to put our algebraic division line in, put our x minus 3 over here, and off we go. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We've got a better way, okay? So instead, we're just going to write our answer down. That's the plan, okay? So if I'm dividing it by x minus 3, what I know is that I must be able to write x minus 3 times some bracket that would then give me this cubic here, right? That has to work. If I'm going to divide this cubic by this and I get some quadratic, then when I times that quadratic by this x minus 3, it's going to get me back to this cubic here. So let's just reason our way through. Now if I'm going to put something here and I'm going to times it by x and end up with an x cubed, what's the only thing that that could be? Obviously it's an x squared. You're all shouting, I can hear you from here. So we're going to put our x squared in. All right. Now the problem is that that gets us the x cubed that we wanted, so we can tick that one off. Okay, so we can tick off the x cubed over here. Tick that one off. There we go, got the lid off. So we've done that, but now we also get this minus 3 times x squared. That's the problem, right? So what we have is minus 3x squared, and what we want is plus x squared. So it's not quite working at the moment, so we need to try and fix it. All right? So we focus on what we have, philosophy for life. We've got minus 3x squared, and I want to end up with plus x squared, so I need to gain plus 4x squared from somewhere. So if I write plus 4x, remembering that I'm going to times it by this x over here, that now gives me the plus 4x squared that I needed. So that means minus 3x squared plus 4x squared is plus x squared. And we've done that one. But we've got a problem. We don't just times the 4x by this x over here. We also have to times it by the minus 3. Minus 3 times 4x is minus 12x. That's what we have. It's not what we want though. What we want is minus 10x. So if I have minus 12x and I want minus 10x, what do I need to gain from somewhere? Obviously it's a 2x. So we're going to put in our plus 2, because when we times the plus 2 over here by this x, that gets us the plus 2x we wanted. So we have minus 12x plus 2x is minus 10x. And as if by math magic, somewhere along the way, minus 3 times 2 is also minus 6. And we close our bracket, and we've done our division. So when we divide this cubic by x minus 3, this is the quadratic that we get here. It's not wizardry, it's just maths. So we're going to have another go, and we'll see if you guys can start getting the deal with what we're doing here. So I've got 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 7. I'm going to divide it by x plus 1. So I'm going to write out my cubic first. So I've got my 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 7. I'm just putting my equals in. I put my x plus 1 that I'm dividing by. And then off we go. So we work our way through one at a time. So I need to write something here at the start of this bracket. When I times it by x, it gets me 2x cubed. The only thing that's going to work has to be a 2x squared. So I now have this. So I tick it off. Done that one. Problem is, I don't only get 2x squared times x, I get 2x squared times 1. Now, 2x squared times 1 is just 2x squared. That's what I have. What I want to get to is this minus 3x squared. So I have 2x squared. I want to get to minus 3x squared. So what do I need to find from somewhere? Obviously, it's a minus 5x squared. So if I put my minus 5x here, when I times it by this x, I get minus 5x squared. So together with the 2x squared, it gets me my minus 3x squared. We tick that one off. But I don't just times the minus 5x by x. I also have to times it by the 1 as well. So minus 5x times 1 gets me minus 5x. That's what I have. Remember, focus on what you have. But we want to get to plus 2x. So if I have minus 5x, I want to get to plus 2x. What do I need to find from somewhere? Obviously, it must be a 7x. So we put our plus 7. When we times by x gets us the plus 7x. So now minus 5x plus 7x gets us 2x. And as if by magic, it's happened again. 1 times 7 is also the 7. We have that. Tick that off, close our bracket. We've done it. Okay? So in each case, what we get when we've divided are these quadratic factors. Easy, right? Now it's time for a bit more practice at a slightly higher level. It's time to practice those skills we've looked at in the first half of the video. So we're going to have a go at dividing some quintics this time. So up to a power of 5. Now, you wouldn't actually have to divide a quintic in your exam, but it's a really good chance to practice those skills. Okay, so we're going to have a go now. Now, because it's a quintic, I'm not going to write out the whole thing again. I'm just going to do my setup underneath here. So I'm going to take this quintic and say that must be equal to x minus 2, and then open my bracket, and off we go, starting to fill stuff in. So we have a look. First term, need to put something here, times it by x to get x to the power of 5. You know the story. Of course it is x to the power of 4. Stick that in there. That means we've now dealt with our x to the power of 5 term, so we tick that one off. But we don't only get that because we've done x to the power of 4 times x, but we also have to times it by the minus 2. So we've got minus 2x to the power of 4. So if we check, we want plus x to the power of 4. We have minus 2x to the power of 4, so I need plus 3x cubed, because when I times it by x, it becomes an x to the power of 4, which now means between the minus 2x to the 4 and the 3x to the 4, I have that one. I tick that one off. But we don't only times the 3x cubed by the x, also have to times it by the minus 2. That gets us minus 6x cubed, which in this case is actually what we wanted. So this time we can also tick off minus 6x cubed, because that's what we actually do want to have. So then we move along to the next term. We say, oh, well, now we want to get this minus x squared. So what can I write here that when I times by x gets me minus x squared? Obviously, we just stick a minus x in. So now minus x times x gets us minus x squared. We tick that one off. We also get minus 2 times minus x. So that's plus 2x. So we have plus 2x. We want to get to plus 7x. So we're going to tag ourselves a plus 5 on the end. That gets us now plus 2x plus 5x, which is 7x, and minus 2 times 5, which is minus 10. So we've divided and got ourselves a quartic expression this time. All right. So our last one, same thing. We've got a quintic. We're going to divide here, but this time I'm going to do it at full speed, right? So we can have a race if you like. Get yourselves ready. I'll give you a chance to get set up. We'll see who's going to win. Okay. So I've got my quintic here equals x plus 1. Are we ready? On your marks, get set, go. So I'm going to put an x to the power of 4 in here. That's going to deal with that one. I've got 1x to the power of 4. I want minus 6. So I'm going to do a minus 7x to the power of 3. So that's that one taken care of. I've now got 1 times minus 7x cubed. So that's minus 7x cubed, but I want minus 15. So I'm going to do a minus 8x squared. That's now going to get me this one. I tick that one off. In this case, that also gets me the minus 8x squared that I'm looking for. So we've got that one there. So I turn to the minus 9x, which means I'm going to put a minus 9 on the end, which if I do minus 9 times x and minus 9 times 1, gives me minus 9x, minus 9, and there, we're all done. All right, guys, let me know in the comments if you find that method better than algebraic division, and if you beat me on that last one. Like and subscribe for more. Awesome job.